Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Swiss Army Sports. Today is November 9th in the Big 25. It is episode 20. It is flying by.
It is.
I am your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Osprey Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side is my co-host, Luke Wallman, former offensive lineman for the Hendricks College Warriors, current man of electricity.
Yes. Big with the electricity things.
I am donning the Florida Gulf Coast basketball jersey today. It was a hell of a find in the closet.
I've got a shirt my mom bought me. So
Elite. Quicksilver. Good brand.
let's go.
On the agenda today, Week 10 recap for college football, along with the Panic Meter, Dogs of the Week, and our Swiss Army Sports Top 25. College football playoff predictions, what we think the committee will give us on Tuesday, along with our NFL Week 9 recap, teams of the week and teams that are week, Monday Night Football preview, and best bets. We're going to give you a recap of our college basketball picks from last week, as well as our Swiss Army Sports college basketball top 25 making its debut. And it's
kind of tough to make that.
It was tough. It was tough.
The big games all start like this week, and we've obviously seen some stuff happen so far, but a little tougher.
It was tough. I'll admit it. I mean, and we watch a lot of hoops, a lot, like degenerately watch hoops, and it was still tough. We've got our college basketball conference championship predictions. I'll be forefront with mine. A lot of them are gut feelings, and I mean, just basically eye test. Again, watch degenerately a lot of college, mid-major college basketball. And then our best of the weekend to wrap it up. I had a good week for the first time in a while. Unfortunately, so did everybody freaking else. I thought I was going to get y'all with LSU, and they gave Bama a hell of a run. But let's get into the beginning of it. On Friday night, the Tulane Green Wave marched right into Liberty Memorial Stadium and laid an ass whooping on the Memphis Tigers. Yeah. The scoreline doesn't tell the story of that game. They made a late push. Every Memphis fan knew that game was over. Tulane asserts their dominance over the Tigers. Yes, yeah. Look, you got to respect the hate at some point. I finally hit on this.
It's like the first. They've been on here 3 times this year. We missed every time. But I was sitting in Chili's on a date, and I saw the first play of the game where Tulane goes deep, and I'm like, "Well, this is over. At least I don't have to prolong this anymore."
Retzlaff finally showed up. He's been struggling in previous weeks with Tulane, and God, Brendan Lewis, you got to think. Now I'm turning into the perspective of a Memphis fan. If you sit Brendan Lewis against Rice, you still win that game by 25 plus easily.
Yeah,
he's probably healthier going into this Tulane game if he doesn't play in that game. He ran a lot against Rice.
But Memphis, I don't know why they have this thing where they just don't sit. And this is coming from obviously us being friends with Charlie. Last year they were playing UNA. They were up 40, and they had the starters in to finish the game. So for some reason they just don't sit people, which has been a really big theme for some reason. I don't know if it's offense too, but with the defense at least.
No, they don't sit and rest.
Yeah, Charlie will never play the garbage time, white boy walk on time, like you would see at some of these other.
Boy, man, we played our white boys.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a defense coordinator thing or if it's a Silverfield thing or what's going up, but yeah, they don't sit people.
Well, Tulane got it done.
Yeah.
BYU.
Wow.
We thought this was going to be a good game.
Yeah, I took
BYU headed into Lubbock, Texas, and played the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And boy, did the Red Raiders take care of business at home. This game was not even close.
Yeah, no, it was – I honestly thought BYU, which obviously you can kind of tell freshman there. I think that's Bears' first game where it's been oh, my gosh, he's a freshman quarterback. He's never been in this type of environment. Because we kind of saw the struggle earlier in the year with when they went to Colorado, kind of the first more hostile, which obviously Colorado's not hostile, but since – Prime's been there, people show up and all that. So we saw that a little bit. They squeaked by a win, but it was very evident that the freshman moment came out here.
100%. Bachmeier didn't look himself, at least the way he has been looking the entire season. And again, that Texas Tech defense is not like your typical Big 12 defense. They were very sound, forced Bachmeier to be uncomfortable the entire game. BYU's offense never really got enough flow. And I think something we got to talk about here is I think BYU's special teams really hurt them in this game.
Killed them. They had the muff punt after the 3-and-out. Because, like, BYU, even though they let up a bunch of points, that defense actually played really well. And they were just getting hoed by their special teams and their offense the whole game. So they were out there forever. In the first half, Texas Tech, I think, had 3 drives in the red zone, and they didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, they were doing their job.
No, BYU's defense did their job. They made stops in the red zone, forced field goals for Texas Tech. Poor special teams and, well, Texas Tech's defense kept BYU's offense from being able to get in a flow. And, I mean, defense wins championships.
Yeah,
and Texas Tech sure as hell looks like a very dangerous team right now, especially with Brennan Board being healthy. This was actually a weird game. Texas A&M dominated Missouri on the road on the scoreboard. However, it was kind of like won by explosive plays. Missouri did a pretty decent job of bottling up A&M for like 75% of the time. The other 25% were like 60-plus yard touchdowns. So, I mean, it was a weird game that Missouri kind of like kept hanging around in, but were never able to get close enough to become a threat because they just kept giving up explosives. I was wrong here. The producer and Luke were right.
Yeah. I really don't remember anything about this game. I was 3 cup waters deep at this point, and I had about like 5 or 6 beers. So, yeah, the juices were flowing.
Juices were flowing. I can confirm. It was like 1 o'clock when the cuts were getting brought out.
You gotta have an enjoyable weekend, man.
Hey, brother. I hear you.
You sound like an alcoholic.
Oregon headed into Kinnick Stadium, and boy, was this a thriller. It was a wet, sloppy football game. Wind was howling, and Oregon got the job done. We all 3 picked Oregon. I don't think any of us were actually rooting for Oregon in this football game.
I took Iowa on the money line before the game.
Me too.
Like, I mean, I was like, that when Kowski went down, had that drive, and they scored, I was like, oh my gosh.
Kowski did what he needed to do to win that football game. Cannot believe Iowa's defense could not step foot.
Yeah.
And,
which usually
get a stop with less than a minute left in the game. All credit to Oregon's kicker, though, making 2 huge field goals in that weather conditions. Long snapper, holder, kicker for Oregon.
And usually Iowa's defense, it's kind of the reverse roles here. Iowa's offense for once came up big, and it's usually the defense that comes up big and the offense leaves them short. But because like when they played Iowa State earlier in the year, their defense held Iowa State handily, but their offense could not do anything.
100%.
So, I mean, is that their first Big Ten loss?
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how crap shakes up, I don't know who.
No, second. Sorry. Yeah, they're pretty much out of it at this point. Yeah. But it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight from Iowa. Way better than I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I had them 9-3.
I have questions for Oregon. A lot. I get, again, on the road, tough conditions, especially with the weather. But, if you're supposed to be a top 10 team, you should have dominated this game. Wake Forest headed to Virginia.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, I changed the pick live on the podcast. The writing was on the wall for this one. Wake Forest, barring the week before, they didn't look good. But they'd been really competitive in these ACC games. And the ACC is drunk this year. Nothing makes sense. None of these teams are good, the ACC. I was like, Wake Forest kind of matches up well with Virginia. And they did. And they got the job done. The scoreline didn't say this, but I think Wake Forest kind of like just controlled that entire game. I didn't feel like Virginia had any momentum going.
We didn't watch this game over at our house. I think there was 3 other games that we had money on and were better. So we were scoreboard watching, but we didn't watch it.
I did watch a little bit of this game, and I was impressed with Wake Forest. His defense, they really kept Virginia at bay, and man, Virginia. Ever since we saw Florida State fall off, I knew Virginia was not that good.
Yeah.
They were just kind of riding the wave of being ranked after that Florida State win.
Good for Virginia, though.
No, it's been a great season for UVA. Playoffs.
Over 4 games.
Playoffs are still in the picture, which is crazy.
The NC State game. It's like.
Here's the thing, though. I would love, and this is my perfect scenario, I would love for these ACC teams to lose enough to where we get like South Florida and James Madison in over an ACC auto bid.
So I'm not gonna. That'd be electric because it almost happened last year. With
yes, it did.
Who was it?
That was
Memphis ruined
Memphis. Tulane. It was almost Tulane and Boise.
And Memphis went and ruined that. But
hey,
Got their revenge this year.
Revenge. I called it, man.
So
This game was interesting. LSU headed to Bryant-Denny Stadium, and Bama kind of escaped with a win here. They did cover.
Great teams cover.
Great.
You want to hear an electric bet though? So obviously I'm really drunk. I go upstairs. I'm like about to start playing some Battlefield. I'm like, I need to bet again. I put all of my money in my DraftKings account on Bama to win live at minus like 1,500. Like 30, paid 32. And hey,
$2. Wow.
I know.
Hey, that's electric.
Electric.
Yeah, the producer and Luke had Bama. I had LSU try to pull a fast one here. I did like the move by LSU to put Michael Van Buren in. I don't think they let him. I think Michael Van Buren was more ready for the moment than they let him be. I don't think they let him like actually trying to show what he could do. It was kind of a very conservative play calling once he got in. But they did move the ball when MVP went in. And when he was at Mississippi State, I called him the truth. And I think he is the truth. And I think he is probably the future of LSU. Mm-hmm. I did like seeing Nussmeier get benched. The offense finally looked alive once it happened. Bama was just able to get the job done. Ty Simpson's legit. He did not have a great game by any means, but he got the job done. And big win for Bama at home against LSU.
And I just want to call it preseason. I said on this podcast,
yes, you did.
He's not a good quarterback. So I want to throw that out there.
Luke knows ball. Sad. And finally, me and Luke had this one right.
The travel, man.
The travel. Hawaii dominated San Diego State at home. One, Hawaii is good. Two, the travel.
Yeah, and San Diego State they've lost 2 games?
I think they lost one coming out of this game.
Like,
yeah,
good foot, but like that travel, that it is absurd. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
But Hawaii did dominate that football game. I thought that was very interesting. 10 p.m. Central Time kickoff, electric. Hawaii +7 cash. Yeah, so that concludes our picks of the week. The leaderboard tightens up. Michael has a 1-game lead on Luke, but I'm only 3 points out of second place.
Scares me.
So it is starting to get a little bit iffy heading into the final stretch. We have only 3 weeks of picks left. So it is time to get down to the nitty-gritty. Who is going to be doing a punishment? We will find out.
I have a good idea for a punishment, though. The 24-hour Waffle House thing. I think that would be pretty fun. That would be like. Now,
I will say, in the city we live in,
I know that's what would make it fun.
It's a little bit iffy. I hope I don't come in last. Well,
you get a waffle.
I'm looking like it.
All you got, like, eat 12 waffles to stay there for 12 hours. I might join in.
That sounds so terrible. Like having to go to the Waffle House crew and explain what we're doing.
I'm going to be here probably for 14 hours. I'm going to drink an ungodly amount of sweet tea and eat an ungodly amount of waffles.
Yeah. And those waffles are so heavy.
I know.
They're so thin, but they're so heavy. What you would have to do is like stack like 6 of them up and just eat it at one time. And give it like 2 hours.
Yeah. And then eat another.
And then eat another stack of 6. And then we just wait a couple hours. And then you're going to try to get as many done as possible after that. You're going to be feeling like crap after this.
This would be such a worse idea. We go to a bar and do the same thing and a drink. But that would be
Jesus Christ.
That would be way worse.
It's like the bowling alley. You have to bowl a 300, but every hot dog is 5 points off, and every beer is 10 points off.
Oh my god! It's like that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the perfect bowling game? Is it 300?
Yeah, 300.
Oh god.
So 5 beers and 5 hot dogs makes it like you have to bowl a 200, but you're like, kind of buzzing after that. So
that would be electric. I'd be all for that. I think that and the Waffle House would be entertaining.
I agree. The panic meter is back. Boy, do we have some teams to panic about. Well, let's start with Indiana. Boy, they escaped.
Yeah.
Happy Valley. And we are so, again, panic meter, scale 5 to 1. 5 being we Gucci. 4, calm down, we good. 3, I don't feel good about this. 2, it's almost at the fan. And 1, panic. We are so we Gucci on Indiana. You won the game. Mm-hmm. That's what's important. They've been blowing teams out. In my mind, I know one person in our team, the producer, thought this was enough to bump them to 3. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think this showed that Indiana can win the close game on the road against a team that's not bad, by the way. Let's get this out of the way.
Preseason number 3.
Preseason number 3.
The defense is still there.
Yes, it is.
But,
Man, Penn State did all they had to do to win that football game. Indiana's just clutch. Hell of a catch in the end zone. Yeah, we Gucci, Indiana. I still think this team wins out and wins the Big Ten. What about you?
We Gucci, obviously. You can't drop for me on what you've been doing all year, and you win a close game against Penn State in Happy Valley, which is a tough place to play. So, and they play Wisconsin next.
Indiana had never won in Happy Valley, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I did see that stat. And then Wisconsin and Purdue are your next 2 games, and then you have obviously
Ohio State.
Most likely Ohio State, unless Michigan can pull some shenanigans, but which I really hope they do.
I don't see it happening.
I don't either. But yeah, so you have Ohio State to prepare for. You can already – I wouldn't overlook Purdue.
I wouldn't at all.
Because
I wouldn't overlook Wisconsin 100%. I think you can go in bare bones with your bare game plan and beat Wisconsin, except unless their punter leads them in passing yards again. We'll see. Talk about that in a second.
But Purdue's just a weird team with
Barry Odom's a good coach.
Yeah, I know. Was that Memphis for a while?
Great game too. Indiana, Purdue, they hate each other.
He was at Memphis for a while.
BYU, you're on the more positive side here. Calm down, we good. Why?
Because it's one loss. You're most likely going to meet Texas Tech in the championship. Now, you do have to play Cincinnati on the road, but I think BYU's shown enough to where they can go and handle, especially since Utah beat them by 50 or whatever they did. I think they can handle Cincinnati, even though it's on the road. So you're basically going to get a rematch with Texas Tech, and that obviously you've played. You're going to know a better game plan, and you're not playing it at home or on the road. I mean, you'll be on the road.
You'll be in Texas.
You'll be in Texas, but it's not in Lubbock.
Correct.
So I'm pretty optimistic because you still have a clear path to the playoff if you could win the Big 12. And it's going to be really interesting because if they do win the Big 12,
they both get in.
They both?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm wondering to see because Texas Tech is legit.
You got to. You got to let them both.
The
one loss in the regular season is without their starting quarterback.
I know. And I think if it comes down to that, Notre Dame needs to get bumped out.
I 100% agree. I think they're so overrated.
I'm going to rant a little bit here. I know it's a little off topic. What has Notre Dame done to
beat USC? That's it.
Yeah, I know.
Close losses, I guess.
Yeah.
To Miami and Texas A&M, which again, Miami's not as good as we thought they were, but Texas A&M is. Texas A&M is. But again, you were at home in that game. So
I know. And you really should have gone to overtime, so we don't know what can happen because you.
Oh yeah, you have to put that into account.
So like in overtime, it could have been anything. So I mean, I don't think Notre Dame should be in. I don't know why and I'm not a Notre Dame hater. I'm a support.
I'm Catholic, yeah.
So
I'm for Notre Dame.
I don't know why we're meat riding. I guess the Pope has some influence over the CFP.
I did respect. And yeah, I don't feel good about this for BYU just because this is kind of the first time they've seen Bachmeier be uncomfortable, and he did not look good at all. And I'm really concerned with the special teams. Special teams can lose you football games. As a specialist, I'm a little bit biased on that area, but I did think the special teams was so poor for BYU that it sounds a little bit of alarm.
Which it was kind of weird.
Defense looked elite, which is why I'm not like it's almost hit the fan because I do think this team could go lose at Cincinnati. I also think the way the committee is, I think a 2-loss Texas Tech team gets in. I do not think if BYU loses again to Texas Tech in the conference championship game, they're going to let them in. So that's why I don't feel good about this. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for BYU. Let's move on to Virginia. You again on the more optimistic side. Tell me why you are in between. It's almost hit the fan, and I don't feel good about this.
I think they can still make the conference championship.
Yeah, they've only got one loss.
That is the only reason.
In the conference.
Split.
They've lost to 2 conference teams, but they've only got one in the conference.
I know. So that is why I'm a little more optimistic because, the ACC is so weird because, like, you saw Louisville lost and essentially they eliminated themselves. Miami's essentially eliminated themselves. So you have, I think it's, UVA, Pitt, and like, hold on, I'm going to pull this up real quick. But it's just because the fact they can still go to the conference championship and they can still, like, get into the college football playoff. Now, they'd have to beat Georgia Tech, which The ACC is so weird this year. It really does not make any sense. So yeah, you have a four-way tie actually with SMU, Pitt, Virginia, and Georgia Tech. Now, we could get JMU in if like Duke or SMU win the ACC. You know how electric that would be.
That would be pretty electric.
And like, shout out to UConn, man. They beat Duke this week, which Duke is also 4-1 in the conference.
Yep.
So, I mean, and then
because again, it's 5 ranked highest conference champions.
Mm-hmm.
So if Duke were to go win the ACC, and both James Madison and South Florida are ranked and Duke is not,
they will be in.
People listening that are unfamiliar with the situation, because this seems completely unheard of, but the ACC is so trash that we're having to talk about this. We could see two G5 teams get in, and all these people that say the G5 need their own playoff, I think it's the dumbest take. You obviously have never played football, and I think it's never showed more than when you say something like that.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Touch on that. It's not like the G5 never upset anybody. Like Memphis, I know it's Arkansas and Arkansas sucks, but Memphis beat Arkansas. USF went to Florida
and beat Florida.
They beat Boise. Well, that's another group of 5. I mean, you had Troy play with what we thought was a really good Clemson team. Like, you got teams. I know there's UConn. They beat Duke. Like, it happens.
UConn is a G5 team. Excuse me.
And like, so this kind of stuff happens, and I just think the disrespect, because like, what are you gonna do? Throw in another?
Yeah, we're gonna have 3 Division 1s,
like
FBS 1, FBS 2, and FCS. No, it's a dumb conversation. It needs to stop. It's almost hit the fan just because of the scenario we just talked about with ACC. I think the ACC has shown it is the bottom of the power conferences. Whether they're all just equally mid or what, but it is almost hit the fan because, dude, you could not lose this game Wake Forest if you're Virginia. And we're going to talk about this even more with the next ACC team. It is a complete panic for both of us on Louisville.
Yeah.
You could not lose with California traveling all the way to Kentucky. You could not lose this game. I know it was in overtime, but Cal is not as good as they were last year. They lost their quarterback to Indiana.
Yeah. I will say, though, I will give Cal that freshman quarterback's a dude.
But here's the thing, though. What are they now, 6-4? I think they're 6-4. So, I mean, you lost to a 6-4 team. When you're trying to fight to get in the playoffs, you can't do this. You're not a legit playoff team if you're losing a 6-4 team at home, especially one that traveled halfway across the country. Louisville, you're in complete panic for me. Same reasoning as Virginia. I'm questioning whether an ACC team will get in or not. Luke.
Yeah. I also think the running back got hurt.
He did. So again, another reason.
He's a stud. He is very good, and that's just a game you cannot drop, especially since, like, if you're looking at their schedule, they already lost to Virginia, which Virginia, obviously, we don't know. But you beat Miami at Miami, and then you handle Boston College. It was a little shaky at Va Tech, but, I mean, you should have beaten Cal. This should have been beaten Cal, and then you going to play Clemson, which Clemson could very well be an upset. Yeah, I mean.
And Kentucky has been rolling.
I know. So, like, it's such a disappointing thing because, like, a bunch of these ACT teams are dropping games they shouldn't. And it's another thing with the auto bids, because I did see one thing on Twitter, because, like, obviously we're from the South, like SEC. I'm all for all football. Like, I love the SEC. I love the Big Ten.
I love the Big 12.
The Big 12. I love it all. But you have all these rednecks that are like, oh, we just need to give another bid to the SEC. I think that is stupid. You do not need – every conference gets its one bid, and you
dog it out.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
This is just another reason why you're showing people the ACC is not a legit conference. It's just so annoying. You should have won that game, but shout out Cal.
Our dogs of the week, mine is Slicky, Cameron Dickey. He ran all over that BYU defense. Crucial first downs and a touchdown at the end of the game to really salt this game away. 23 carries, 121 yards, 1 touchdown against an undefeated team. Cameron Dickey, you are my dog of the week. Luke, I love yours.
I want to give a shout out. This obviously did not save what's-his-face's job, Fickle, but they won a Big Ten game.
Well, I mean, they're staying with him next year.
I know. So, like, it wasn't like this saved Fickle by any means, but, like, your leading passer should be a quarterback, hypothetically, right? Like hypothetically, your leading passer should be a quarterback.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not even really hypothetically. It should. It
So,
should be a
when your
quarterback,
leading
right?
passer is your punter for Wisconsin, Mr. Sean West, 24 yards, 1 for 1 on the day. I could not find a live action shot of him on the field. I don't even know how he punted. Let's look at his punting stats. But yeah, he was the leading passer for Wisconsin. It might have been place kicker. He might be a place kicker. Hold on. He was some special teams guy.
It was their punter.
It was okay. Let's see. We got punt stats. Kicking, punting. Yeah, 3 punts for 137 is 40. That's good, right?
And he's not even the only punter.
Oh my God, he's not. But that's good, right? 45 and point.
Yeah, he averaged 45.7 yards.
54
If you're not a specialist, that's actually an elite day.
So, yeah, that's like every guy's dream.
Dream. Shout out you, Sean West.
Shout out.
Doing it for the brand, for specialists.
Yeah. And hey, we got off the all offensive thing today. We finally got somebody new.
Special teams, special plays, special players. Our Week 10, Swiss Army Sports Top 25. We kept Ohio State at 1 by week. We kept Indiana at 2. We both said we think they've done enough to stay there. A&M staying at 3. Bama at 4. Georgia thrashed my dogs, but they stay at 5. Texas Tech gets the bump to 6. Ole Miss stays at 7 after beating well-known FCS powerhouse, the Citadel. Not. Oregon drops to 8 after struggling on the road against Iowa. Texas got a weird, like everybody else lost, bump to 9.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech to 10. Oklahoma to 11.
I did not think Georgia Tech would be that high. I thought I had Oklahoma over.
I
might not.
think the producer juiced Georgia Tech. I may have juiced
Hayes
Georgia
King,
Tech too.
Hayes King with a limp, man.
He's only got 1 loss. Can't hate.
Yeah, no.
BYU down to 12. Irish at 13, which I think is perfect.
Yeah.
Back in the hunt. The Vanderbilt Commodores at 14. 15 Miami. And by the way, Auburn is the best 4-6 football team of all time. Which also, before this game, they'd only allowed 0 teams to score more than 24 points against them. And Vandy scored 45.
But I will say that
45.
That defense, for some reason, the last few weeks has been very shaky. I don't know why. Pavia has continued the ball, but that defense for Clark Lee is just
Got to get the defense in shape.
shaky compared to the first.
I agree.
Like,
No, I
5
agree.
weeks,
I agree. Miami at 15. Big Blue at 16.
which I hate.
Yeah.
I'm a Michigan fan. I hate. I don't.
It's
just a product.
Honestly, it's a product of everybody else losing. Utah at 17. SC at 18. Virginia down to 19. Cincy at 20. Pitt up to 21. Louisville falls drastically to 22. USF staying strong at 23. Tennessee at 24. And welcome to the poll for the first time this year. JMU at 25. 1 loss to Louisville. By 14 on the road. JMU is looking like a strong G5 contender. Receiving votes, 3 points for Iowa, 2 points for Tulane, and 2 points for MIZZOU. The second college football playoff bracket gets released this Tuesday. This is how I see the committee having it. I've got Ohio State at 1 with a bye, Indiana at 2 with the bye, Texas A&M at 3 with the bye, Bama at 4. I then have the winner going to Ohio State. Well, it'll be a neutral site, but playing Ohio State. Number 8 will be Oregon, 9 Notre Dame. Playing Indiana would be number 7 Ole Miss, 10 Texas. Playing A&M, 6 Texas Tech, and 11 Georgia Tech. And then playing Bama would be 5 Georgia. And I think the committee will have JMU as the number 1 G5 team at number 12, being at 8-1. My first 2 out, Oklahoma and BYU. Luke, how do you see it?
Now, I'm not going to lie. I do a really bad job of this sometimes. I don't read the heading. I just kind of like do it. So this is how I think it's going to be. So that's why Notre Dame is still out. But I've got Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Bama 4, Georgia 5. I kept Oregon at 6. I bumped Texas Tech up to 7 because I think I had them at 10. And I think they could easily put Texas Tech and Oregon. You could flop them, but I'm going to value Oregon's Iowa win because I think Iowa's a good football team.
They
I'm
are.
gonna value that. Ole Miss at 8, Texas at 9, OU back in at 10, Georgia Tech at 11, and I got USF. I think they have the best resume. They've
I think they do have the best resume.
Memphis, who on a last second field goal they missed. So like it's not like they got blown out or anything.
Hey, Miami.
And yeah, they lost to Miami, but I mean, I can see JMU too. I legit actually flipped a coin on this, and I was like, heads is JMU and tails is USF, and it was tails. So
Fair enough.
then I got BYU as the first team out. Notre Dame. For some reason, the committee will have Notre Dame in, but
yeah, I mean, I disagree as well, but I think they'll have men.
Yeah, so I apologize for the not reading the slides.
All good. Week 9 of the NFL was an interesting one. Sorry about the header. Per usual.
Again.
At least it's week 8.
Yeah.
Thursday night, Denver won a sloppy one against the Raiders. We all had that. Bo Nix looked atrocious. Like I said he would.
Yeah.
Denver's so fraudulent, they don't cover. Every game they I think they've only beaten a team by more than 8 twice. So, and the Raiders are terrible. Can't believe they only won that one by like 7.
Also, griping about this. I had a test, so I couldn't watch any of this, but why are we not throwing the ball to Brock Bowers?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had 45 effing fantasy points last week, and he had 3 this week. It's in the dog days. I mean, they literally just traded their best wide receiver, too.
Yeah, I know. They should have given us Max Crosby. The Colts won in overtime in Germany. Again, these international games are always weird, but Daniel Jones a dog, bloody mouthed.
Jonathan Taylor.
Dude,
MVP him.
He needs to be MVP. He is unbelievable. He's almost guaranteed to go for 2 touchdowns every game. We all 3 had the Colts. Y'all 2 had the Ravens. I had the Vikings. Vikings almost got it done. JJ McCarthy just isn't there yet, which is fine. I'm fine with that.
But at least you're getting one good game than a bad game. At least you're getting something good.
We're getting something. Again, the Ravens are good, so I can't hate too much. We all 3 had the Bears beating the Giants, which they did, but it was in
if Jackson Dart stays in that game,
the Giants win that football game.
The Giants win. I mean, I will say, I know you're a hater of Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart has been having.
I'll admit it right now. I think he is unbelievable for a rookie quarterback for the New York Giants.
Yes,
I mean he's truly done a very good job. They are hurting, especially now without him, Cam Skattebo, and Malik Neighbors. This Giants team will be kind of a force to be reckoned with in the NFC East for the next couple of years.
Yeah. And that pass rush and the defense. I mean,
defense really helps them out.
Yeah.
Shocker of the day, we all 3 were wrong. We had the Bills. The Dolphins, for some reason, decided to look like a football team today and absolutely dominate Buffalo at home. Again, we always get one of those weird AFC East games. This was it.
Yeah. And the weather did not help Buffalo at all. It was pouring, and when they had to actually throw the football when they were losing. So, not making excuses, but it's like God was not on their side.
Yep. Well, after trading everybody away, the New York Jets found a way to win against the Browns. Heavily carried by special teams. Me and the producer had the Jets. Luke with the Browns.
They literally had like 5 yards of offense in the first half, and they had 17 points or some crap.
Yep.
It was stupid. They had 2 return, and Charlie had the Jets defense. So they had 2 special teams touchdowns. Stupid, man.
The Pats went to Tampa and got the dub. Me and the producer on the Pats. Luke on the Bucks. Drake May looking as good as ever. We all 3 were on the Panthers, who got shocked by the Saints. Did not see that one coming.
The Panthers are just like the Steelers. You go play well one week, and then you just look like a completely different team the next. It amazes me that they lost today.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. The Texans, me and the producer, Davis Mills scores. The Texans scored 26 points in the fourth quarter to Jacksonville 0. They come back down. The score of Sunday Night Football right now is 3-2. What the hell? Luke was on the Jags, which is the right pick.
I can't believe they lost. They blew such a big lead, and it's the most AFC South drug shit of all time. Sorry.
It's all good. The Seahawks dominated the Cardinals, heavily carried by the defense. We all 3 are on the Seahawks. The Rams dominated the Niners. I thought they would after losing at home. Yeah. We all 3 were on the Rams. The Lions, the afternoon window was so boring, I took a nap. The Lions dominated the Commanders. We all 3 were on the Lions. And finishing up, me and the producer on the Chargers, even though I bet on the Steelers. Luke is on the Steelers. The producer on the Packers. Me and Luke on the Eagles. Teams of the week and teams in a week for the NFL. My team of the week are the New England Patriots. I think Drake May going on the road against a very good Tampa Bay team, getting a win is a very big step for this New England team, who's now 8-2. 8-2. The Patriots. Who saw that coming? Not really anybody. Well, you did 8-2.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. I don't think I'd have made. I think I had them losing like 5 games.
Yeah, but like 8-2, man. This past team is good. And now your week, the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can't blow a 19-point fourth quarter lead. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Luke, your teams of the week and teams of the week.
I mean, my teams of the week obviously have to be the Dolphins. You beat the Bills, who just came off and beat the Chiefs. I mean, you won a football game. I mean, it's pretty rare down there in Miami. And then my team of the week last week is now my team that is weak, and it's the Panthers. I think
We've been doing this all year.
I think this is the second time they've been team of the week and then team that is weak. I want to say, because I really think that I had them as a team of the week at some point here. So if not, it is definitely the first team that has been team of the week and then immediately been to the team that is weak.
Yeah.
So
We don't know what we're going to get with the Panthers. Dun, 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 dun.
dun 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 dun
Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
We will get a sound bite eventually.
Eventually, but until now, you get an acapella. The Philadelphia Eagles are heading to the frozen tundra to play the Green Bay Packers. Luke, we're in agreement.
Eagles money line.
Eagles money line. It's a lock. It's a lock. I don't think the Packers are very good at all, and I think the Eagles have been looking a lot better on offense. Defense has always been there, though. The Eagles are going to win this football game. I like 2+ Hurts passing touchdowns at plus 121. I think it's good value, and I think they're going to score more than probably 4 times. And I think at least 2 of those will be passing touchdowns. Luke, I love this play.
I was like, I mean, I'm gonna have something fun. I mean, we never do this. We do the touchdowns, but Romeo Dobbs first touchdown plus 1,000.
Have you ever the sound clip of him acting like Tucker Kraft is dead is so funny.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh my god. He goes, yeah, he's in a better place now. Like
Oh, but like you're without Tucker Kraft. I think it could easily be a Josh Jacobs first touchdown, but I was like, man, it's only plus 500. I want something a little more juicy.
a little more
Yeah,
juicy.
I mean, so give me Dobbs, because I do think if the Packers get the ball first, they will go score first, and then they will do nothing for the rest of the game. So
Fair enough. Our college basketball picks. Tough to do this early in the season. We all 3 were on Duke. Duke hit Carlos Boozer's a dude. He's a dude. Me and the producer on North Carolina. We were correct. You were on Kansas.
Yeah,
There,
I mean-
one guy was not enough.
yeah, Peterson, the freshman, I think he's the 3rd player in this class, played really well. But when he was not in the game for Kansas, it was like you had a bunch of middle schoolers running around out there. They didn't score for like 6 minutes in the first half because he picked up 2. Dude came back in. They won like a 12-0 run to be up like 5 at the half. And I was like, oh, we got this. But they have him, and they have this other freshman who can actually shoot the ball pretty well. I think he had 4 or 5 threes. So, I mean, I don't think Kansas is going to be very good this year.
I think they're going to struggle in the Big 12 100%.
So, I mean, because the Big 12 is so deep this year.
It is so deep.
But
Bama went on the road to St. John's and got the dub. The producer had Bama. Me and you were on St. John's. Did not think Bama was going to score like 100+ points on the road at St. John's, but they did. And this Bama team is looking like the Bama team of previous years. They just shoot the 3 ball, and they shoot it well.
And I was also kind of surprised St. John's scored 90+, because usually against better teams, St. John's does not score that prolifically.
They did though, and
So-
St. John's will be good. They're good on that end. Surprisingly, Arkansas. All 3 of us had Arkansas. They went on the road and lost in a heartbreaker against Michigan State.
If Calipari would have ran a zone, they would have won that basketball game. I mean, Michigan State cannot shoot the ball at all. They only score around the rim, and they just let them go to the goal the whole time. If they literally play zone and say, hey, shoot the 3, you stupid white dude, please. You're like, actually can't do it. They would have won. Hold on. You talk about it. I'm going to look up the box score.
Go ahead. And while Luke's pulling that up, Gonzaga thrashed Oklahoma. All 3 of us were on Gonzaga. Memphis got a sloppy win at home against San Francisco. Won by 6. They should have won by a lot more. All 3 of us were on Memphis. Me and Luke tried to get the upset pick. We were on Chattanooga against UNLV. The producer on UNLV. Chattanooga got thrashed on the road. We're waiting now for Luke to pull up this box score for Arkansas, Michigan State.
I'm getting there. Hold on, I should just do this. Give me the box score. I know. So dumb. Sorry, I'm not good at electronics. Okay. Okay, shut up. We're getting there. Okay. Michigan State shot 1 of 14 from 3.
Wow.
That is not very good. They shot 41% from the field. Arkansas was 7 of 28, which is not like great either. But I mean, they hit 7 threes and they lost. Like, I don't think you ever see that with the 3 disparity like that. You never see that.
6 more threes. Yeah, you never see a loss.
Yeah.
You should have played zone.
I will say another thing that I'm kind of salty about. Brazil, final shot. They kick it in. There's 4 seconds.
That was terrible.
You have got, if you're Calipari, you have to have a play drawn up for Aiko, who was obviously the best player on the floor, and then maybe have something else to where DJ Wagner's the second option. But it was rough.
It wasn't Brazil heaving a 3
Did you see
going
the thing
backwards.
after the game?
Yeah, where he slapped the fan in the face with the towel. I don't think that was on purpose. I think his wingspan's just that big.
I didn't think it was all purpose. I thought it was kind of funny because you see him go over and apologize, and then he like said something to him, and then he gets all mad.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was funny.
Hicks leaderboard also will have a punishment at the end of the year. Michael 6-1, me 4-3, and Luke 3-4. And making its debut, the Swiss Army Sports top 25 college basketball. Again, very hard to do this early in the year. 1 Houston, 2 UConn, 3 Duke, 4 Kentucky, 5 Arizona, 6 Bama, 7 Purdue. I feel like that will fall.
Yeah.
8 Michigan, who looked good against Oakland. Oakland's not a bad mid-major, excuse me. It's basketball. 9 Illinois, 10 BYU, 11 Gonzaga. This Gonzaga team starting to look like one of those smart few teams. 12 St. John's, who will be good. 13 Louisville, 14 Tech of Texas, 15 North Carolina, 16 Michigan State, 17 Iowa State, 18 Florida, 19 the Vols of Tennessee, 20 UCLA, 21 Arkansas, 22 Vandy, who thrashed Lipscomb, who's the ASUN preseason favorite, and went on the road and very handily beat UCF. 23 Wisconsin, 24 Creighton, 25 NC State, and receiving votes, 2 points for Kansas and 1 point for Indiana, led by former Trojan Tayton Conaway. Shout out you, Tayton. Let's get into the fun stuff. This is our college basketball, not the tournament, regular season conference championship predictions. We start off with the ASUN. Luke, I always lead off. I'm going to let you lead off. Who do you got for the ASUN?
So I got Queens. I cannot find my Queens tab. This, of course, is the only tab I cannot find. But I do know they are the media poll so what I did basically for all the mid-majors, so my like bigger conferences is kind of like gut, just like the eye test from what I watched, and then some of the stuff I just know coming in. My mid-majors, I basically went to the media polls, and I basically found, because in college basketball, I'm going to quote Romo here, if you want to win in March, and if you want to win in general, you've got to have a dude. Got to have a dude. So I basically went and looked at all the preseason player of the year, like first team, second team stuff, and kind of just lined it up like that. So I got Queens. Don't quote me, I'm pretty positive they have the player of the year in the preseason. Let me look it up real quick. But yeah, that is why what's it called? That is why, no, I think UNA actually has it. But that's another reason. All of these things, I could actually find some stuff. But this was the one team, or the one thing I really couldn't find clear. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, Queens is first in the preseason coaches poll, and they are third in the media poll. And then they don't have, oh, yes, they did. All ASUN team, that Queens has one guy. They have 2 guys on here. So that is why I went with Queens. Long story, but I got there.
Fair enough. I like North Alabama. They've got 2 guards, Kevin De Kovacic and Cannon Jefferson. Both shoot the ball well. North Alabama has been building a good program in the ASUN. They've been in the conference championship game, I believe, 2 of the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to get it done in the regular season this year, be the 1 seed. Hosting the ASUN's a big deal because it's one of those conference tournaments you play, the conference tournament at home. So I think North Alabama could have done. American East, who do you got?
I got Vermont. Vermont has won the American East, really for the past like 5 or 6 years at least since I have really paid attention. Because like anytime conference championship week, you see that tournament being played in Vermont, and I think Vermont already they either lost or barely beat the Bonnies. They played in a tight game with the Bonnies, who are I think solid. But yeah, I think Vermont should have won this conference.
I like UMBC. Jalakai King and DJ Armstrong. DJ Armstrong more of a stretch big. He shoots the three ball at a 58% clip. UMBC lost by 6 on the road to Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
I think this shows that this UMBC team is able to compete with some of those better mid-major teams, and I could see them stealing one on the, splitting with Vermont in the regular season, and I think
Beating everybody
they
else.
will beat everyone else. I think Vermont will slip up against someone else, like maybe Albany, or
I think Maine's also
Pretty solid with Flag's brother. So yeah, I'm gonna go with UMBC in the American East. The American, we've got Memphis. I think both of us. The Tigers are just by and far the best team in the American. This American team, American Conference,
It's awful.
is the weakest we've seen in a while.
Yeah, and I do want to give one shout out to Penny though. I love how he schedules because
It's a tough non-con.
they have to schedule tough, and I think they have a top 10 non-con schedule in like the country because like there's no bye games, like there's no like New Orleans or like even like a Queens or something from the ASUN. There's like no games like that, and I think Penny does a really good job scheduling because it helps them for when they get into the non-con into their conference. So, and they have to do it if they want to get it like a okay seed. So,
Fair enough. The A10, one of my favorite college basketball
Oh my God,
conferences.
the A10.
Love the A10. Who do you got?
I got the Billikens. They are returning. You remember was it Robbie Aleva?
Oh yeah, Alaba.
And they've got another guard. I think they were voted seconds in the A10 by the media. And I'm like, man, VCU, they lost their head coach. They lost a bunch of their guys. You got a new coach, Phil Martelli Jr. coming in. I mean, I could definitely see VCU winning this conference, but I'm gonna go with the seasoned coach at this level with Billikens with their coach. So
I like VCU. I think they're a really well-rounded team. Again, 2 great guards with Jadrian Chasey and Nick Lewis. I know they lost by 3 on the road to Utah State. I think you'll see a great Mount West team. You'll see how great I think they are. But yeah, I like VCU to be the regular season champions. I think this is just a solid program with a very solid home court advantage. And winning at home in conference matters, and I think that'll prove VCU strong as they make a regular season conference championship.
skip one, by the way.
Thank you. Big click. ACC. I'll kick off this one. Boozer, Duke, next.
Yeah, no, I think Louisville's got a really good team this year. I like Pat Kelsey as their head coach. They shoot the 3 ball very well, very efficiently. They had a good transfer class, and they have like I think the 5th best freshman. And honestly, if we're going regular season, I think and they got good transfers. They got the Virginia's best player from last year. I honestly think regular season, Louisville will probably win it, and Duke probably win the tournament. I don't think Duke sweeps both, and I will bank on them winning the ACC tournament, and I'll bank on someone else winning the actual conference in the regular season.
Fair enough. Big Ten. Who do you got?
I got Michigan. I honestly think this transfer class is very good. They murdered Oakland. You got Morris Johnson. He's an Illinois transfer. They're very tall again this year. They got the UCLA 7'3" dude, Yaxel Lendenborg, who I absolutely despise, but I have to root for now. So he didn't play a bunch in the first game because he is dealing with a hand injury, I'm pretty sure. So he played a little bit. They're trying to work him back in, but you got Mari Barrett, who's returning. They got a freshman, Trey McKinney, hit 6 threes, I think, in their first game. They've got some pieces, and I really think that it's going to be a tough Big Ten conference this year, or compared to last year, in my opinion, because UCLA's good. Purdue, obviously, but I got Michigan.
Fair enough. I've also got the Big Blue. I think they're the deepest team in the Big Ten. I think it's going to propel them to a good regular season, which will be the regular season conference champion.
And I think Dusty May is one of the better coaches.
He is. He's one of the better coaches in the Big Ten. And I think this will be a very deep Big Ten this year. But I think Michigan has the depth pieces to keep them competitive in almost every game in the Big Ten, which will, again, the more competitive you are in every game, the more times it'll go in your favor. And I think Michigan will propel themselves to the top of the Big Ten at the end of the regular season. Big 12, you went against me.
It's a dogfight. It is such a dogfight in the Big 12. It is so deep. You have 8 teams that could legitimately, like, I think Kansas State could have had an argument to be ranked this week because they've got PJ, who is, I mean, hate him or love him how he plays. He scores. And, I mean, I think they could have been ranked, but you got Kansas, Baylor, Houston, Arizona, Iowa State. I'm definitely forgetting one big team. BYU, thank you. But like you've got teams, Texas Tech, like the Big 12 is so good.
Stacked.
And I don't think Houston will win the regular season. I think they'll probably win the tournament because of the experience, but I don't think they'll win it because they'll just drop one thing. And Arizona, I think it's Coy Peta. I'm saying his name wrong. He looked very impressive versus Florida, so I'm going to bank it all off of that.
The Cougars are getting it done again. They're returning 3 key players from that national runner-up team: Milo Suzanne, Joseph Tugler, and Manuel Sharp.
Is he the one that's really
he's pretty old, but he's also the one that had that shot at the end of the game.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then newcomer Kingston Flemings has looked really good for the Cougs.
Where'd he transfer from? Or is
he's freshman. He dropped 20 points against Towson. I think this is, dude, Kelvin Sampson's a dude. He is a hell of a coach. I think he's going to coach this Houston team to, again, so strong defensively. I think Houston will win the Big 12 a little bit more easily than you think. I think they may only lose 2 regular season games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, Big East, we're in agreement here. UConn, Hurley's a dude, but dude, Terrace Reed.
I know. Was that Michigan?
And Solo Ball
and
Alex Caravan are all. We can put Silas DeMary in there. There's this team is so stacked. I think this is a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and the Big East is much weaker in my opinion this year.
It is because it's not as deep.
John's is the only team because Nova not at their prominence. You have a new head coach there in Willard. You got a new head coach in Patino at Xavier.
And Xavier's not looked good at all.
Yeah, I know. They look awful. You obviously have DePaul and Butler. Georgetown, I think, is going to be a little better this year. I think they'll be a little better.
I think Marquette falls off.
Yes, because they lost their top 3 producers from last year. And we saw that today when they played Indiana.
And we just don't know what's Creighton yet.
So, yeah. And Creighton hadn't played anybody. But much weaker Big East this year.
100%. Big Sky. I just went with the preseason favorite here, Montana State. They have historically just been a really good team in the Big Sky. Have watched them play a little bit. Decent shooting team from beyond the arc, which I think matters a lot in major ball. Good on rebounding, solid defensive team. Like Montana State to win the Big Sky. You went with the other Montana team.
I did. Montana was voted number 1 in the media and coaches poll at the beginning of the year. So, honestly, go with Montana. So, Montana State was 5th and 4th. Or no, 5th and 6th, sorry.
I went off Ken Palm.
Yeah. It's pick your poison for some of these schools that we have not had chances to watch because you really just don't know. Now, Montana State does return 5 returners, 7 transfers, 3 freshmen.
Yeah. 7 transfers.
Yeah.
7 people transferred to Montana State. I like them. Big South, I think we just kind of say High Point's going to dominate. They are unbelievable. Unbelievable. This High Point team is like that maybe 12 or 11 seed mid-major team that could really like make a mark in March Madness. They're blowing teams out. They shoot the ball prolifically. They play unbelievable on defense. They rebound the ball. I think this High Point team is everything you want in a mid-major Cinderella team. And
they hammered the team. D3. They beat them by like 60 though, which you're beating somebody by 60. You're doing something right.
And they hammered Furman.
And then they hammered Furman, which I don't think Furman's as good as they have been, but still, you are hammering Furman. So, High Point's on a whole other level. They returned the coach from last year, which is usually a big thing in some of these like mid-majors if you can have continuity with your coach. And they have that. So,
Big West. I went with UC Irvine just because of their size down low. I think that's going to cause some problems for the other teams in the Big West. Although I do like your pick.
Yeah, no, I got Hawaii, which were voted third in the preseason poll. Irvine was voted one. They almost beat Oregon. And honestly, if you're telling me like Hawaii, you're gonna have Irvine, Santa Barbara, all have to go out to Hawaii. Like it's the same thing we talk about with football. That is not fun to do. Even though it's basketball, it's a little different. It's still not fun to get on a flight and go out to Hawaii.
No, it is not.
Especially if Hawaii's like a better team and they're just not like dog like they usually are. So I think Hawaii could be a sneaky team, especially if it's same thing going back the other way. But I mean, they almost beat Oregon, and I think Oregon's whatever, but still, you almost beat Oregon, so you're doing something right.
Oh, 100%. For the CAA, who is the team that covers?
So I went with Townsend. Now, actually, they were voted number one. UNCW was two, but they had the preseason player of the year with Tyler Tedesca. Then they have another guy who's projected to be on the first team All CAA. And honestly, if you got to, like I said at the beginning of this, you got to have a dude, and Townsend's got a dude. So
Yes, I do. I think UNCW has two. I think Patrick Wessler is going to be a big forward for UNCW, big on the boards, and I think Nolan Hodge is going to, point guard this team to high-powered offense. Shoots the ball at a prolific rate. He is so far shot at a 57% clip, 66.7% from three. Only through one game, but the fact that you're hitting, the three ball at almost a 70% clip, I think UNCW, who has been a prolific team in the CAA for many years from now. Very fun mid-major conference, by the way. Very fun tournament to watch. Yeah, I like UNCW to get it done in the CAA. Husa. You like Kennesaw?
I do. I mean, I think Liberty has ran this conference for the last 4 or 5 years, I think. And Kennesaw won it, I want to say 5 years ago with the coach that sadly passed away. But I think they're going to be back to prominence this year. It's kind of a gut feeling. They have the preseason player of the year. They have two guys on the all conference team preseason. So I'm rolling with Kennesaw.
Yeah, I think Liberty destroys this conference. I think Brett Decker and Colin Porter are going to be unbelievable for Liberty. Their head coach is unbelievable. They've built in an unbelievable program at Liberty, prolific mid-major basketball school. And I think they'll continue their dominance in the CUSA for at least the regular season. Now, they very well could lose, the tournament. But I do think the CUSA belongs to Liberty. The Horizon. This is strictly based on eye test for me.
Yes.
And I guess for you too.
Same thing.
I think Oakland looks really good, and I think they will kind of handle these Horizon level teams.
No, yeah, they played very close with Purdue. It was a 10-point game.
Yeah, 10-point game.
Now, obviously, they got murdered by Michigan.
But I think Michigan's on a different level than Purdue this year.
And if you're hanging with like the 30th team in the country as a Horizon League team, you're good. I mean, like that was very impressive for Oakland, and that coach has been there a while, and I think he's going to get back to the tournament. So.
I would love it. I would love to see it. The Ivy, not really much to speak on here. These budgets are so low for a lot of these teams, except for one, Yale. And Yale shoots the ball unbelievably. They've got big men down low to rebound the ball. I think Yale will handily win the Ivy. Only thing that worries me a little bit is Harvard.
Yeah, Yale got all the preseason number one pick, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're rolling with Yale. But I think
they're like minus 500 to win the conference.
Yeah, that's absurd. So I know Yale, did they return hold on. They do. They returned Townsend. So who averaged 15 and 7 on the board. So, I mean, now Harvard's returning their rookie of the year, Robert Hinton. But, I mean, I think Yale's just going to make the tournament again. They're on another level. So,
I think Yale's on a completely different level than others of the Ivy teams. The Metro Atlantic Conference, the MAC. Who do you got?
Oh my God, I completely hold on. What logo is this?
Quinnipiac.
Thank you. It's because they had the player of the year. Quinnipiac. Some of these logos, I'm not used to the logos. So Quinnipiac got the player of the year, and they've got, I want to say they've got a few more guys on the preseason teams. So especially in these like 15, 16s, if you have a guy who's going to score you're going to win games. So that is why I'm going with the Quinnipiac.
I'm going with Siena. Bryant's gonna be a pretty good team in the American East. They beat them by 16.
Yeah.
Gavin Doty is a prolific guard for them. Again, shooting the three ball at 66.7% through 2 games, averaging 15 points a game. And then Tasman Godric averaging a double-double, 15 points per game, 10.5 rebounds. I think that duo is going to carry Siena to a regular season conference championship.
We swept on Akron.
Yeah, the Akron's by far the best team in the MAC.
Yeah. No, they got multiple guys on the.
Dude, Tavari Johnson is legit. Legit. He's a guard that, like, if you're playing against him in March Madness, you're going to have to worry about him.
Yeah. No, they've got, I think, 4 guys on the first and second team all conference, and then they got 11 of the 13 first place votes. So I think Akron win the MAC last year as well, I think. So I think they're going to continue their little dominance in the MAC.
For the MEAC, you like South Carolina State?
I do. And I got to find my tab. Yes, I do like South Carolina State. They have the player of the year now. They're third, like getting voted or whatever, but they've got Jaden Johnson, who is the projected player of the year. And like I've already said, you got to have a dude. So give me Jaden Johnson and South Carolina State.
I like Norfolk State. One, because they kept it very close against William and Mary, lost by 3. And this Norfolk State team has pretty much ran the MEAC for the past 5 years. I mean, no, they have not won the tournament all the time, but I think they've won the regular season conference championship 3 out of the last 5 years. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Norfolk. Moving on to one of my favorite mid-major conferences, Missouri Valley.
Arch Madness.
Arch Madness.
So I've got Bradley. Now they lost a close one to the Bonnies by 6, but they've got this guy, if I can find him, named. Oh no, I definitely just lost him. His name's Dean. Now you can't see this. I have like 1,000 tabs open on my laptop. So, Duke Dean. Duke Dean, he dropped 30 something against Western Michigan. I think he's going to carry this Bradley team. Put it on his back. They have been so close in years past. Battles with Drake, Loyola Chicago when they were in it. So they have been there, and I think he is going to put them over the top. Bradley usually has very good defense, and they shoot the 3 very well. And I think if they just keep that continuity, they will win the Missouri Valley.
I like Northern Iowa, led by Leon Bond. He's a 2-3 on the floor. He shoots the ball so well from 3, shooting so far 62.5% from 3. Averages 23 points a game, 5 assists. Northern Iowa just really impressed me when they beat South Dakota by 7. And that game was played in neutrals, at the McLeod Center. So it was in Iowa, excuse me. I thought it was on neutral site. But again, South Dakota State, as you'll see, I'm pretty big on them. And the fact that they beat them by 7 says a lot. And I think this Northern Iowa team is going to be the best team in the MVC for the regular season. Again, Arch Madness, nobody knows what's going to happen. Mountain West. Conference.
I would like to change my pick after they didn't cover today, but I got San Diego State. I think they always play really tough defense. They should win the Mountain West, but I want to say sneaky team. I think Grand Canyon is going to be very sneaky. They play Baylor in their little scrimmage, and I think they beat Baylor by like 12.
I think they did, yep.
So, I mean, I think Grand Canyon's a team to look out for. Obviously, Utah State, that would be a bucket list game to go to.
100%.
Utah State, that environment. Like, if y'all don't watch mid-major basketball, stay up till like 9:30 and watch Utah State play like a meaningful game. It's awesome.
It is. It's electric. Which is why I picked Utah State. Yeah. Extreme home advantage. MJ Collins, guard for Utah State, and Mason Falsev are 2. It's a good 1-2 combo for Utah State. They impressively beat VCU. I think this Utah State team is going to be very hard to beat in the Mountain West Conference, which is such a tough basketball conference. The NEC, I went with LIU.
Yeah, they got every vote, so I think this is.
Yeah, they're returning like 80% of their production, and they, I think they won the conference last year.
Yeah, they did, and I think they had the Player of the Year, and they also received every vote by the media. So I went with them.
OVC, 11 international players, Illinois. Went on the road, beat UNLV. It's UT Martin. UT Martin is finished like 7th in voting. They are going to win the regular season in the OVC. I think they are the deepest most foreign team, and I think that it's a level of excitement. I'm excited to watch the UT Martin team play, and that's why I'm taking them.
Yeah, no, I've got Little Rock because
Dummy?
they return a Memphis legend, Jonathan Lawson.
Dude,
Which I will say this: if you want to look at a scam, the Lawson family has scammed the University of Memphis out of so much money. It's absurd. But now I've got Little Rock. They received the most votes, and they returned two of their more productive players with Jonathan Lawson and I'm not going to try and pronounce that dude's name, Tunakatek. So I do think that they will end up winning this conference.
Patriot League, we're with the toothpaste, Colgate. Lost by 11 to Michigan State. Did lose to Northeastern by 3, but I think, this forward duo of Sam Wright and Andrew Alexeyenko, forward play is big in the Patriot League. It's a very gritty basketball league. I think these second chance points are going to be a big deal for Colgate this year, and I think they'll win the Patriot.
No, Colgate, again, they ran the Patriot. I think I have picked them in brackets probably for the last 3 or 4 years. I remember they were playing Wisconsin, and they were winning with 5 minutes ago. And then, of course, John Davis came back and took them to win. But I think Colgate has run the Patriot. I don't think American, Navy, or Boston, Holy Cross, I don't think any of those teams are really going to do nothing. I think Colgate is going to win this conference.
SEC. Who you got?
I got Bama. They just beat St. John's. I think the 3-ball, it's going to kill them. But I think I think they'll be able to keep the momentum going, and they will be able to win in the regular season. Now, I don't think they'll win the tournament. The best team will not, especially in all these major conferences, best team never wins the tournament. But I've got Alabama winning the regular season.
I've got Kentucky. Colin Chandler.
Yeah.
Otega Owe.
The Mormon.
Malachi Moreno. Mohamed Diabate. This team is loaded. Mark Pope is an unbelievable head coach.
Great basketball coach.
I actually can root for Kentucky now that Calipari's not there.
Yeah.
Give me the Cats. I think they're going to be the best team by far in the SEC this year.
I like it.
Moving on to the SoCon. You stayed true to what I thought you were going to pick.
Yeah. No, I got chat. Now, weird little tidbit. VMI sucks, but they've got a guy who dropped 30 against Missouri today. He's going to probably be the player of the year. So just a little tidbit. But Chattanooga's favorite, they had actually split first place votes with Furman. I don't think Furman's very good. But they've got three guys on the all conference team, which is more than any other team. So now they obviously won the NIT last year, but they lost their best player. I can't remember his name. He's an absolute dog, though. They lost him, but I do think that Chattanooga will get it done this year.
I like ETSU just because their depth. Okay. They're going to have about roughly 4 guys that average more than 10 points a game, and I think that a depth piece is or having depth is crucial in mid-major teams. Not having to run the same 6 guys up and down the floor, able to rotate the same 2 out of these 4 guys in and out of games. I like ETSU's depth this year, and I think that's what's going to propel them to a SoCon championship in the regular season. The Southland.
Now, I've got Lamar. They're returning 3 starters. Obviously, this conference is going to take a huge hit with no McNeese State. And I will say this. I was Googling this conference because usually all these things you could find you can find something that sort of website that has the media polls. Southland had nothing. I literally could not find a thing on the Southland. I looked it up, so I'm trusting Andy Katz. But they have 3 starters that return, and there's no McNeese State, so I got Lamar.
Stephen F. Austin.
SFA.
Yeah, they beat Arkansas State, who is a pretty big favorite in the Sun Belt, or one of the favorites to win the conference, by 25.
Jesus.
They have a guy, and they have a dude. They have a dude. Okay, they have a dude who goes by the name of Keon Thompson. Through 2 games, is averaging 23 points a game, shooting 57%. But let's not forget about Lateef Patrick. Okay, Lateef Patrick is also averaging 17.5 points per game, but he's shooting the 3 ball at 61.5%. this is a dangerous Stephen F. Austin team. We've seen dangerous Stephen F. Austin teams in the
We
past, and I think we are going to get another one this year in the Southland Conference.
The swag.
Southern got so many transfers.
Yes.
I think they're going to run the swag. They're going to be unbelievable deep, and this is going to be the first time, and no hate behind it, that an HBCU is going to be a relevant upset pick in March Madness and will not be in the first four. I love your pick because why not?
I mean, real talk. I'm picking Southern. I mean, because I think we talked about this on multiple occasions.
We did.
They've got all the guys who have been like kicked out of college or like the journeyman. Like they've got some weird dudes on that team. And it's going to be weird because they're going to be like a relevant HBCU. But I've got the most goated Twitter account for college basketball, Mississippi Valley State University. They beat the University of Women. They had a dude drop 30. I mean, vibes are at an all-time high. And why not? I mean, why not? You got to love just that, which, by the way, I recommend if you not follow this Twitter account. It is legitimately hilarious. Like, they played UAB, and it's like,
oh, yeah, it was like MVSU 60, UAB,
ran the score.
They scored up a little bit.
So, like, it is an electric account. And when they win, they go nuts. So, I hope they win a few games this year. It'd be a great sight to see.
Summit. I love your pick here. I thought about taking this pick. This is the first time they're postseason eligible, but I'll just say I think South Dakota State is going to be a tough out in the Summit League. They're led by a guard. Sorry, Jaden Jackson. It's a seasoned South Dakota State team that has been in this spot before many times as a program, and I think they're going to win the Summit regular season. Who do you like?
I like St. Thomas.
I love that pick.
The Tommies. They won the conference last year.
Yes,
which
they did.
I mean, this is a whole other subject. If you go up to D1,
I hate this rule. I agree.
You do not need to wait if you can compete right away. Let the boys compete because the same thing happened with what was it, Bellarmine a few years ago. They won their conference and couldn't go. JMU couldn't go to a bowl game. It
makes no sense
because it's stupid. If you are good enough to go up, you can compete right away. I don't know why they do it. But I got the Tommies. I think they returned their best player. And Nolan Minisale. They Summit Player of the Year preseason. And he averaged 12, 4, and a block. So nothing special, but I mean, I do think that
the Tommies do win.
The Tommies win. They got a good coach. I think it's their time is now.
The Sun Belt. Waffle House time. The Troy Trojans are reloaded with a bunch of JUCO transfers. Got his first name. Campbell. Ginger Ninja.
I'm homing, so I'm going to let Will talk on this.
Ginger Ninja. Dude, Troy went on the road and beat Furman. I know for this in the same Furman team as always. But Troy's 2-0 with back-to-back road wins against good mid-major teams, Furman and Kent State. And Kent State is like number 2 in the MAC behind.
Yeah. No, I thought about taking them.
Yeah. So Troy handled Kent State. Coach Cross has built an absolute juggernaut of a program. He's got his nephew, Austin Cross, playing on the team. No, his son, excuse me. Austin Cross playing on the team. He's a dog. Troy is going to win the Sun Belt this year. I do think the other team that could possibly do it is Arkansas State, led by Chandler Jackson, Christian Brothers High School alumni. But I do think Troy is the better team, and I think they will get the job done. Important returner, Victor Valdez, played a big role in our Sun Belt tournament. Stretch big, Mexican guy, stretch big. He's got some frosted tips right now, which, Victor, if you're for some reason listening to this, not a big fan, let's change it up. But you're a dog, dude. You're going to get done for us, the Sun Belt. West Coast Conference, Gonzaga.
I think Gonzaga wins the regular season. I think St. Mary's finally gets it done in the tournament, though.
I disagree. I think Gonzaga wipes the floor with the West Coast Conference.
I think the St. Mary's team is a lot more underrated than they have been in years past. So I do think Gonzaga is going to win, but I would not be shocked if St. Mary's won in the tournament, just because it's a one-off game.
And wrapping it up, the Western Athletic Conference.
So, in the WAC, I got Cal Baptist. They were number 1 in the poll or whatever for the preseason, and they got the Player of the Year, Dominique Daniels, a grad transfer, and I was just like, okay, you gotta have a dude. It's probably gonna be like a 16 seed, so let's go.
I like Utah Valley. They got a dude, Jackson Holcomb. I believe they were number 2 in the preseason. Got 1 vote. I just want to be a little different here, so I went with Utah Valley.
Yeah.
Best things that happened this weekend. I loaded up on college basketball betting from Thursday. I think I'm up on the year already, like $180, which on $5 and $10 bets, guys, that's like 18 units. I'm up like 18 units on college basketball within like a week and a half. I've been rolling. Today's Sunday afternoon nap hit like crack. I went home from Luke's place over to the crib, threw on a red zone, put it on like volume 10, hopped on the couch, turned the lights off, took a nice 1 hour nap. Good thing the games were blowouts. Had a feeling they were going to be anyway. And then no flight hiccups. I had to leave this wedding across the country.
Had a great time at this wedding, by the way, guys.
I had a terrible time at this wedding. San Diego, California. Left at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Flew to Atlanta. Arrived at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. 3-hour layover. Landed in Memphis. Went and coached our final high school football game of the year as we lost in the playoffs. But no flight hiccups, no delays, no cancellations. With all the shit's going on right now, very grateful that happened. Those are my 3 best things to have this weekend. Luke.
So usually, from what I've heard from my dad, now DraftKings has said something that they are going to work void stuff a little more. I wouldn't say often, but a little more than they used to. I had a little 7-leg or 8-leg parlay that was going to pay me like $35 because, like, I think my thing is I just like if they're averaging 30, I take them down to 20, and I just pick like 7 of them.
Oh, I agree.
So I've been pretty successful with it. So Jalen Green played 6 minutes, got hurt, and he was the final leg. I woke up and it lost around noon today, or I think it was 2:30 today. I had another $25 in my account, and I was like, sweet, it got voided. So yeah, I was pretty hyped for that. And then Unt. Let me tell you about Unt. Unt had a buzzer beater. So I took San Diego State and Unt together, and San Diego State obviously did not cover. They got a technical like with 2 minutes to go in the game. So Idaho State got a free throw and then the ball, and that essentially ended it. But so I'm like, oh, we're playing Unt live. Unt's live, and I got him at plus 200 and buzzer beater. It was very aggravating. They could not rebound at all, like at all. But they threw it to this white dude running up the floor as the free throw line, and he just kind of threw it at the goal and it went in. I mean, he literally like looked like he did not know what to do, and he just shot it. So
that's electric.
Love to see it for Unt. The broadcast is probably a worse broadcast than this podcast, actually. It did not start going live, I think, for like the first 30 minutes. It literally had your event will start soon, and then it would randomly just black out. So it was great.
Dude, ESPN is in shambles right now.
The 2 guys calling the game had the same suit on, same everything, except for a different tie. I was like, this is weird. So, anyways, I thought with the Chili's on Friday. Chili's was good.
Heard about this.
Yeah, Chili's was good. I was the only Caucasian descent in there. So, yeah.
Turn it to Chili's, baby. I love it.
And the girl I was with, some woman said she was like really beautiful. And I was like, okay, sweet. I'm not with some ugly chick. So,
well, that wraps it up for episode 20 of Swiss Army Sports. This has been Will Spain with Luke Wallman. Until Wednesday, when we break down week 11 of college football, week 10 of the NFL, and college basketball for the upcoming weekend. Bye. Probably a little bit of hockey, probably a little NBA. Yeah. This is Swiss Army Sports. Good night.